gorilla solo, Marcus Garvey, J. Wolfera, Colossal terror. Niggas got it fucked up from my era. J. Wolfera, Colossal terror. I gorilla solo, Marcus Garvey. Fuck everybody at this party. I gorilla solo, Marcus Garvey. Fuck everybody at this party. I gorilla solo, Marcus Garvey. Niggas got it fucked up from my era. J. Wolfera, Colossal terror. Niggas got it fucked up from my era. I gorilla solo, Marcus Garvey.
Black Star Line, Jamaica Don, he did it, didn't got shitted. Bell fraud, he being quitted. The first time in history, like the plane that went down in Pennsylvania mystery.
Check up 44.7 on your dial, WBUD Radio Rebel Day. Introduce myself, reintroduce myself. Colossus, Marcus Garvey, official Garveyite. Marcus Garvey, who schooled the father of Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Malcolm is my man. I've been to a lot of schools, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, college and all that. Had a lot of teacher professors, but my ultimate favorite professor is Malcolm X, El Hajj Malik Shabazz. Now, one of the things I like about Malcolm, I love that brain. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm, my man. And I read a lot of books about Malcolm, and one of the weirdest things that stick out to me that my man Malcolm stated was that he feel like King James, who wrote the King James version of the Bible, was really William Shakespeare. And I know some of y'all gonna roll your head, you roll your eyes, oh, here you go again. But listen, in order for you to understand, you gotta understand that during the end of the 16th century, beginning the 17th century, it was frowned upon to be in the arts or be a writer or anything like that. You know, it wasn't what you were supposed to do. So someone like King James being royalty, it made a lot of sense for him to have a pseudonym. You know what I'm saying? And not really have nobody know who he is in reality. You know what I'm saying? Because basically it's like this. King James was born in 1566 and Shakespeare was supposedly born in 1564. King James died in 1625 and Shakespeare died in 1616. So from 1566 to 1625, King James would have been 58. From 1564 to 1616, William Shakespeare would have been 52. So, hey, it's easy to come to that conclusion. But that's how I do my research. That's the kind of journeys that Malcolm sent me on, just looking up little tidbits like that. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? I'm all over the board. You know, I go from one thing to the next. I talk about Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X. Then I hop on some food and talk about some chili peppers. You know what I'm saying? How they reduce cancer, like the article I have here, talking about how the red chili peppers, the capsaicin that's within the chili peppers help fight off breast cancer. Now, this is a story that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? The capsaicin is what gives the chilies the kick, and they surround the cancer cells, causing them to die. Now, the capsaicin attaches itself to the cancer cell membrane, and switches on cell receptors called TRPV1. Now, these cell receptors, TRPV1, they control substances that go in and out of the cell membrane. That's like a toll, a gateway. The TRPV1 controls what goes in and out of the cell. So when they attach themselves to the cancer cells, they kind of regulate them and just mess them up to the point where the cancer cells self-destruct. Now, here's the kicker. This is how I do my research. And this is the kicker for me with this Alfred Hitchcock story. You know what I'm saying? This is how I put my Alfred Hitchcock, Edgar Allan Poe twist on it. Now, in the story it says, however, capsaicin isn't effective if eaten. And the first thing I thought was, what? It ain't effective if eaten. And in my mind, the first thing I'm saying is, okay, well, that's their way of telling you need to go buy it in pill form. So the pharmaceutical companies can get a hold of it and do what they want. Now, you go out there and tell them that you can eat chili peppers and it'll help reduce breast cancer, they might take you to jail, the FDA. So basically what they saying in this article, the CYA cover their butts is, you can't get the capsaicin that you really need by eating it. Okay, so that's what lead me down a trail like this. This is how I do my research. I take that and I say, okay, well, who eat the most chili peppers? Probably South America. So you take a country like Mexico, and this is how you do the research. You find out what's the rates of breast cancer in a state like in a country like Mexico where they eat a lot of chili peppers. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come back to that now that I thought about it. I'm gonna go research how much what's the breast cancer rates in Mexico or any of the surrounding countries, Guatemala or whatever, where they eat a lot of chili peppers, and find out if they have a lot of breast cancer in those countries. And if not, which is my theory that they probably don't, if the capsaicin in the chili peppers really works. If they don't have a lot of breast cancer, then once again, that's the pharmaceutical company way of getting ready to try to monopolize capsaicin within the chili pepper. See, that's how I do my research. Cats be, man, where you be finding out stuff? How you? No, you gotta do your own research, Playboy. I've been reading for years. So that's how you do your research, man. Simple as that. Do your own research. Don't be watching CNN or Fox News, CBS, NBC, all that nonsense. And I go from King James being Shakespeare to chili peppers. Then I jump on something like the Norwegian sea vault that I always reference. And everybody, what is he talking about? Okay, it's a sea vault in Norway. Europe, Norway. It's a seed vault where they store all the seeds, and it's called the Svalbard Svalbard Global Seed Vault, and is hidden deep in a permanently frozen mountainside of the world's northernmost inhabited place. A remote vault with the capacity to store billions of seeds. Okay, and what they do up there in Norway is they people bring seeds or corporations bring seeds from what they call gene banks, and it's probably about 1,700. That's 1,700 gene banks worldwide, and the gene banks hold seed collections for safekeeping. And what they do is they house them in certain kind of like man-made structures, buildings or whatever. And knowing that all that shit can go at any time, they decided to be able to put everything in the mountainside in Norway. Now you look at it on the cover, that makes a lot of sense. You know, salvage everything, salvage the seeds, because you never know what could happen. We may need those seeds. Okay, here go my Edgar Allan Hitchcock take on this article. We talking about the seed vault, but what about Monsanto's and they Franken seeds? Where you got farmers saying that the company Monsanto's is planting seeds next to their crops, and the wind blow the crops to the farmer and destroy his real organic crops. You got bumblebees dying, maybe because of eating this Monsanto's, which is really the company that put out Roundup to kill the weeds. So ain't no telling what they doing. So you got Monsanto's out here destroying seeds, but at the same time, you got the major corporations and governments storing regular seeds in the seed vaults in Norway. That's just how I look at the situation. And then, I go from that to something like C.E.R.N. C.E.R.N. who is into colliding particles, whatever the hell they doing up there in Switzerland. But C.E.R.N., you know what I'm saying, they have a symbol in the front of their building or headquarters of the god or goddess of destruction called Shiva. Now, why in the hello would a company have this logo and run with it? It's supposedly a gift from India. Shiva, the god or goddess, whichever one, from the god or goddess of destruction. Now, boys at C.E.R.N. they on some touchy situations, just like when the Americans was about to test the atomic bomb, and the powers that be was like, hey, certain people was like, hey man, we might ignite the atmosphere by setting off this atom bomb. They ain't give a damn. The powers that be say, damn that, we gonna do it anyway. And they dropped it, you know what I'm saying? They tested the bombs. So I think C.E.R.N. is somewhat doing the same type of ish. They just not letting us know. They're gonna destroy this damn planet. That's what they gonna do. Eastside, where you get your information from? You ain't gonna see that on TV. So I can tell you where I don't get my information from is the television. I do my own research, man. So this is WBUD channel Colossus, and what you need to